people that are doing shit are too busy to talk shit. So next time somebody's talking some shit, just step back and realize they ain't doing shit. Because if they were doing shit, they wouldn't have time to talk shit. It's just that simple.
There's stories in these mountains, stories folks don't tell, about things that walk the tree line, some say straight out of hell. And every road got secrets, if you're brave enough to go. I drove through Carolina with the moonlight on my back, with a worn out pair of boots and a flashlight in the black. Got a radio crackling and a cold wind through the pines, and something in the darkness was keeping right in line. They said, boy, don't go wandering where the old creek disappears. But fear ain't stopped a whip man in nearly 50 years. So we followed broken branches and tracks too wide for men. And somewhere in the distance came that hollow howl again. We are monsters unleashed, walking where the shadows breathe, through the hills and through the pines, where the lost things never die. Bigfoot in the moonlight, dog man in the fog. We keep hunting down the truth on every backwoods road. Yeah, monsters unleashed. I saw red eyes in Kentucky, near the old graveyard hill. Heard screams across the valley that'll haunt me still. Spirit box was whispering names we never said aloud. Then the whole damn forest suddenly went silent all around. Got Trisha beside me saying something's watching from the trees, and every hair stood up on us with that cold November breeze. Ain't in this for glory, ain't in this for fame. We're just chasing down the questions most folks fear to name. We are monsters unleashed, walking where the shadows breathe, through the mountains late at night, searching for what hides from light. Old roads and forgotten places, whispers in the dark. Sometimes all you leave with is another mental scar. Yeah, monsters unleashed. Now some folks call us crazy, some say we've lost our minds. But once you hear the howl at night, the truth is hard to hide. There's something in these forests, ancient, wild and free. And every time we go back out, it keeps calling me. We are monsters unleashed, still riding through the deep, through the hollows and the valleys, where the old things never sleep. Bigfoot in the highlands, dark man on the run. We'll keep searching through the darkness till our days on earth earth are done. So if you see strange shadows or hear footsteps in the pines, just remember, some monsters ain't legends.
There we are. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Monsters Unleashed. Man, I love that intro. I know it's a little long, but it gives people time to join the show, so we don't jump straight into everything.
I just like that I'm skinnier and I look like a fairy in the face.
Yeah. It was kind of a dark Tinkerbell.
That set some goals for me in there.
It did make me about 10 years older, so... Now which I'm happy about because that puts me closer to Social Security and retirement. So,
oh damn, yeah.
Oh, we got another good show planned. Let's bring out our co-host here. We have Miss Cindy Sapp. Hello, Cindy. How are you?
Hey, guys.
And we've got Miss Donna Copas. Hello, Donna, and congratulations on the new show, Donna.
Yes.
Yep. I watched it.
Oh,
great time.
Thank you. I couldn't have did it without Trisha. I couldn't have. She was amazing. And your song, I loved. The song was perfect. She matched my childhood pictures, my lifetime to that song. It was just... and the outro, she did an amazing job. I mean, it's like she told my story of my life.
Well, I feel very blessed that you used that song that I made for you for your intro. That's awesome.
Oh, I've always loved that song. I cry every time I hear it. I cry, and then I watched as she put the pictures to the words and made it come alive, and that was just, I love it. It was amazing.
Well, girls, before we get the show started, I made a deal. I might have made a deal with my 10-year-old son last week. I took him. That's the reason I wasn't on the show, because we had months ago, I bought prepaid tickets to take him to go and see Spider-Man. I had no clue on the date that it was going to be the day of our show and our anniversary. So that's why I missed last week. But when you get a 10-year-old boy that his whole life is about video gaming, and he just started a YouTube channel, he had 16 subscribers. Now he has 17. He said, Dad, he said, will you shout out my channel on Monsters Unleashed now that you have 1,000 subscribers? And help me try to get a few subscribers. He said, and I'll do the same for you. And he held up, let's see here, hold on, let me, he held up his end of the deal. He posted a short there for people to subscribe to Monsters Unleashed on his channel. Now, it would be really bad if I didn't live up to my deal. So, everybody, if you would please subscribe to Pygmy Warrior Man on YouTube and help this kid get some subscribers to help YouTube pick his algorithm. I'd greatly appreciate it. That being said, I lived up to my end of the deal there, Pygmy Warrior Man. He's in our chat. He's been blowing our chat up since before the show. He's like, I don't know how the AI didn't pick up on getting the camera right in that video. And he's like, hot take, Bigfoot might not be hairy. He's hairy, son. Trust me. He's not a bald Bigfoot.
Hairy.
But I did live up to my part. So tonight we have Derek back. We just couldn't wait. We had to bring him back for his Synchronicities, and he's got some good ones. He didn't even get started last week.
Nope.
He's got some really good ones. So everybody, I'd like to welcome Mr. Derek. Hello, Mr. Derek. How are you?
Super duper like Alice Cooper.
Super duper like Alice Cooper.
Yes. Yeah. Let me bring in my guest if you don't mind.
Oh, speaking of guests, I made it, Cindy. You made
Yeah.
me look bad last week. You made me look really bad
Why?
because remember when we asked you to come on and to bring Isabel with you, okay? And then you had no idea that you were going to have something going on and everything, so you wasn't able to make it. Well, I had promised Derek Isabel.
Oh, gosh,
Here's
So
Isabel.
Derek,
can't do it.
Isabel.
Hello, Isabel. My doll has beads from the Ambrosia concert. There we go.
Oh.
Remember
What'd your
Ambrosia?
doll do to those beads?
Huh?
I said, what did your doll do to get those beads? Because I mean, I've been to New Orleans.
Well, I went to the concert, and it's an Ambrosia concert from John Ford Coley, a 70s band, and they threw beads my way, and guess what? I got it, and then I put it on as well.
Nice. What's your doll's name?
I don't know yet. I just started making her relevant just recently,
Oh.
so I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Well, I have
Yeah,
two more
good question.
dolls that were gifted to me by Donna. One of them I took out of the box. The one we're going to get a case for because it's not a good doll.
Yeah, they are. The
It's-
story that goes with them is a little bit hairy.
Yeah.
I actually drove past the inn today. I got to stop, and the old inn is still there, so I'm going to stop and try. I want to not just get the pictures of the outside. I want to see if they'll let me. I don't go inside of it. I wouldn't go in even when they asked me to douse the property. I went to the door and I would not go inside.
No, I have the one that's got the wedding dress on. She doesn't bother me. So she's out, but the one that's in the box still that you said is the twin sister, I don't even want to open the box. And the light on the K2 meter just goes off. So I'm like, yep, nope, I'm going to wait.
I got my Cy Robinson cup here with my iced tea. But
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, you said you wanted to continue a story that you had on a part 2. Well, you was picking up on a couple of synchronicities that you really wanted to touch on. And you didn't get the opportunity last week.
Well, no, I mean, I broke up my stories because I don't want to throw all eggs in one basket. So, hold on, I'm going to get myself adjusted just right. How am I looking here? Is that good?
Yeah, that's good right there.
Hey, look at this. Wearing a fancy Judas Priest t-shirt. I dressed up tonight. Look at this. Judas Priest.
Oh, hold on. I got to get one of my things here. Here, show your shirt again, Derek. So people can read it this time.
Fancy shirt tonight. Dressed up
no.
tonight.
You had it right to start out with. Here I am.
I
got to stop that shit. It's my little pet peeves thing. I always get on to people if they have portrait video and non-mirrored cameras. I'm sorry.
All right. So the drawing for tonight.
Oh, interesting.
Abstract.
Okay.
So, anyhow, yeah, I didn't want to throw all my eggs in one basket. I've encountered unique synchronicities in my life, and I just wanted to break it up in different videos. Royce was supposed to be on tonight, but fortunately he's sick. And so I'd like to cover W.C. Fields Part 1, W.C. Fields Part 2, the Otis Redding Dream, June 6 Dream Part 1, and June 6 Dream Part 2. Anywho, what else want to start off? Oh, before I start off with this, I'm nostalgic. I love records. I love classic rock. I love sports cards. So I was able to buy a few packs of football cards from 1991 and a couple of them from 1990. And I pulled out Reggie White.
Oh, Reggie White.
Yeah, and there's some other good ones like Bruce Smith, Joe Talley, Andre Reed, the Buffalo Bills back in the day when they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost. But this one stuck out the most because Reggie White had a dream. So back on Christmas of 2004, he told his family about a dream he had. In the dream, everything was in Hebrew. He found this treasure, and he recognized 2 Hebrew words that basically says redeemed of God. And he shared that with his family. Now, to give you a little bit of backstory, Reggie used to be a minister. After he retired, he started questioning his faith. And he felt like there was a lot of issues with his Christian faith and like the history of it and some of the practices that make sense. And he wanted to go deep into the Hebrew. He wanted to go where it all started in Israel. So he took the time and studied Hebrew and just made some changes in his life. One of you, it all 4 years later, after much study, on Christmas Day, he told his family, he said, I just had a dream a few days ago. I found this treasure, and it said in Hebrew, he saw 2 Hebrew words, and basically equates to redeemed of the Lord. Next morning, he died. He was 43 years old, and so his family takes that as whatever he was searching for. He got it, went home with God. So I just found that interesting when I saw Reggie White. So not only was he a great defensive end for the Eagles in this year, Green Bay Packers and Carolina Panthers. So, which goes to my dreams. So let's go into W.C. Fields Part 1. You guys know who W.C. Fields is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, W.C. Fields, for those who don't know out there, he was a comedian actor back in the 1910s, 20s, 30s. I have his biography over here written by his mistress. And anywho, if you were to ask me who W.C. Fields was back in, I don't know, the day before my dream, waking up January 3rd, 2013, if you asked me the day before, I would say, well, he's some guy from back in the day. Big nose. I don't know anything beyond that. So I went to bed on the night of January 2nd, 2013. I woke up January 3rd. And in the dream, I found myself walking through the kitchen. I go out the door, go onto the patio. There was a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend. The boyfriend walks up to me and goes, hey, do you know who W.C. Fields is? And I said, yeah, he's some guy from back in the day, an actor. So, and right before us, a Google image, a black and white Google image appears out of the ether. I said, yeah, that's him with the nose and a hat. Yeah. That was my dream. That was it. I woke up. I'm like, wow. Why would I dream about W.C. Fields? Like, he's not even my radar. I don't ever think about him. I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen anything with him on it. I don't know much about this guy. So instead of making a pot of coffee, I went straight to Wikipedia, typed him in, and read his entire. There he is. That's right there. Boom. I spent that morning read his entire Wikipedia page. Here's a few things that stuck out. Number one, he passed away on Christmas Day of 1946, which I thought was interesting because he was an atheist and Jesus' birthday. At the time, I was a devout Christian at the time. But here's where it really got interesting. I noticed when he was buried, his funeral took place on January 2nd, 1947. I said, what are the chances I go to sleep 66 years to the day of his funeral and wake up dreaming about him? A few hours later, I get a phone call from my home builder. I was married at the time and having a house was being built, and the foreman goes, the owner passed away. Was it be the second? Yeah. He was 56 years old. He was playing volleyball in the gym at his church, and he just had a hard time down. I'm like, no, man, coolest dude ever. Very nice. I got to meet him many times. Quite a talker. I think he'd appreciate. I'm not into politics, but I think he'd appreciate my Donald Trump impression if he was still around. What a fantastic guy! Okay.
Yes, I was hoping he would do it. Sorry.
Unbelievable panel we have here tonight. Unbelievable. Anywho, and that set us back there for part of the year because his passing just took a toll to where a lot of paperwork and a lot of issues. That's a side story. His last name starts with a W. His last name's Weaver. And at that moment, I'm thinking, okay, far-fetched here, but W.C. Fields, Weaver, both have W's in common. And I'm like, is there a connection? Maybe, but I didn't know, but I kept it in my mind. It was a surprise. Okay, so the next morning, January 4th, I'm at Olive Garden. My mom texts me and says, hey, great Aunt Marta passed away this morning. So she had a heart attack back a week prior, and she was in a coma. And her maiden name is Weaver. I'm like, what in the world? Back-to-back days. 2 W's, both Weaver. And at the time I said to myself, things happen in threes. So on that following Thursday, I went to help with a church. I just started visiting with this church, like less than 2 weeks prior. Excuse me. And I helped out with the food pantry. So how we operated was on Thursdays, we have this truck come from Cleveland, Ohio, bring in a bunch of food. Then we all sort it and get it prepared for Saturday. Saturday comes along, we donate food to 120 families. So they just pull up, put the food in, go. So sometime during that Thursday, I set the preacher and his wife aside. I said, I got to tell you something. I'm weirded out right now. And I told them what I've told you thus far. I'm expecting a response, like a good response, because they're Pentecostal people, right? I didn't get crap. He was just like kind of taken, like he was kind of reserved about it. Like he just didn't say much. I don't know if what was going on with him. Now his wife, she gave a bunch of ambiguous answers. I just didn't feel like it correlated with my own thoughts. And it's like, well, no. Anyhow, a week later, he calls me, the preacher. It was a Thursday night. He goes, Derek, in the hospital. Well, what's going on? He goes, well, lately I've been having weird pains right here, the shoulder, the left arm, and my breathing. And I work a little bit, like 10, 15 minutes, and I take a break all the time. And it just seems like I can't get my energy going. From the final, I had clogged arteries. They want me to pray for him. I said, absolutely. He said he was going to have surgery that following Monday. So once I hung up the phone, I'm like, man, I hope he's not the third. You know? great guy. And they're going to see him. Hopefully, everything goes successful. And before I tell you what happens next, here's where I started getting like tripped out. He was born November 25th, 1946. W.C. Fields passed away December 25th, 1946. So this pastor was born a month before W.C. Fields' passing. On top of that, he's 66 years old. I just come off dreaming about the man 66 years, since his funeral. And guess what? His last name starts with a W. And it's not Weaver. But it starts with a W. So I'm nervous. Monday rolls around. Success. I go to visit with him on Wednesday, and by some of his family from Michigan. His assistant pastor took over for about 4.5 months, and the assistant pastor's friends of the family. And I even emailed him about everything I just told you guys. See what his thoughts was, because I just didn't understand it. I never had anything to this level. Like, what does this all mean? He didn't know. I'm like, well, does anybody know? I don't know. I ended up going to a different church months later, and I lost contact with that preacher. So when 2013 came to close, I didn't know what that whole synchronicity was about. That I 2 deaths, 1 made it. Thumbs up. But why me? Why did I get to see this pattern? Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm romanticizing. I don't know. Debunk me, right? 5 years later, and it's just turned February in 2018, and I'm checking my old hometown online newspaper, and there's the preacher obituary. He passed away of cancer. And I read the entire obituary, and my jaw dropped. He died on W.C. Fields' birthday.
Oh, wow. What in the
5 years
world?
later. It's called Final Destination. It felt like Final Destination.
What?
And I don't know. I still don't know why. It's 2026, and I still don't know why. I got to see that. Got to experience those patterns. I don't know why. It's trippy. It's Final Destination level right there. I don't know why.
Welcome to Synchronicities.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So when I don't like to call them dreams much anymore. I call them floating, and it's where you kind of out of body experience, sort of. And I'll see things like back in during the pirate years and stuff. I literally was floating next to a pirate ship. I can see everybody totally clear as day. Don't know why. I mean, I wasn't even watching anything or thinking about pirates, but I'm literally floating next to the ship that's on the ocean. I can smell the ocean air. I can feel the breeze. And I'm literally floating next to the ship, and I'm seeing the captain. I'm seeing everybody on the boat doing their work and everything like they do. And I then went into they docked, and I went into this house, this old home. It was beautiful, flowers, and the coloring was just amazing. But I was like, I woke up from that, and I'm like, what in the world did that mean? Oh, God. Hold on. Isabel just dropped.
Oh, no.
Oh. Uh-oh.
She didn't like
Did you hear
that. Oops. She fell.
Did you do that?
What happened?
Did you do that? Stop.
But yeah, it's interesting because I've had other things, and I don't understand why I'm dreaming or seeing something, especially something that old in that era. So that I just and I've been trying to figure that out. Why do I see things that happened so long ago when I did? Like, sometimes you'll watch a movie and it will trigger you to dream but I wasn't watching anything or talking about pirates or anything like that. So is that something that maybe I'm being told a message of a synchronicity of some sort? I don't know. I'm
I
just
wish.
kind of asking a question about the dreaming.
No, let me ask you a few questions. Prior to all this, have you been a fan of anything pirate related era?
Yes, very much
Okay.
so. Yep.
So you're naturally drawn to that.
Oh yeah.
And then now you have. Would you say that I know you don't call them dreams, but do you consider it lucid?
It felt so real. I felt like I was like, I mean, I did. I could smell the ocean air or smell the ocean. I could feel the ocean splashing on like the water, because when the ship is going fast, you get sprayed. And I could feel that even though I'm in bed, but it's like I'm literally there watching it all, like a scene taking place or something. It was very strange. I've never had, and then it's happened more and everything, but I mean, I do have abilities and stuff, but I was just curious on how to interpret that. Am I being told something, or is there some type of, I don't know. I just kind of wanted your thought on that.
I wish, yeah, you and I are on the same, no pun intended, but the same boat. We go, the more you hear from me, the more it's like, listen, I'm humble enough to say, this is what I experienced. But a lot of times I don't know the epistemology. That is to say, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes in the veil. Like with you, you're drawn to that. And in my brain, it's like, if they're to continue on in an afterlife, I start thinking about like Herman Hesse, who was what is today? The 8th? Tomorrow will be his anniversary of his death. He's an author of Siddhartha, written back in the 1920s, and he also wrote Steppenwolf. And I'm looking at his books right now. And he has a book called Journey to the East. And it's a very mystical journey where imagine being in an afterlife, right? Where you're able to talk to people from different eras. Like you just go around and just talk to people from different eras. So that's how I would see the afterlife, to where the vibe attracts the tribe. Why do you think I'm not a fan of people thinking that we're just going to go to heaven wearing white robes and singing all day. No. We're not God's lost puppy dogs. We're active here on this earth, right? There's a variety. It's complex. One thing I like about soccer, for example, is the difference of different countries all over, and they're playing together. And so they all come from different backgrounds and different cultures and different languages and different foods and different history and things like that. And they're all getting along. But imagine if you're in a afterlife with those who you admired, that maybe was popular in the 19th century, the 18th century, going way back, that you can talk to these people. Same thing with even your fundamentalist Christians believe when they go to heaven, they're going to talk to Noah. So I think in that sense, afterlife, that would be more your forte. But as the immediate message, I don't know. I think it's cool that you're able to have that sensory, that lucidity of taste, smell.
Yeah.
You're in a dream.
My first one. I've had multiple dreams like that, or I call them floating. I don't call them dreams because they feel too real, way too real.
Derek, Ash said here that the doll fell at 9:31 p.m. That you flip it and get 139 days. 139 days ago was December 25th.
Did you hear that?
Wow.
You get it? She's taking 931. Yeah. She thinks like me, by the way. I'm glad, Ash. Thank you so much because you're on it. Because when your doll fell, that means Ash looked at the time. The time was 9:31. And you know what she did? I'll tell you what exactly she did. All right. So this is the method I use. Some of you guys can try it out. Ash does it. It works for her. Now, the doll fell. By the way, why did the doll fall?
So that's what's creepy, you guys. So literally, she's not close to the edge of the desk whatsoever. Not at all. She's sitting up against one of my spare monitors that I have, and she's far away from the edge. And she literally tipped over and flipped off the desk.
Hey, I got another.
I'm sitting here.
I got another synchronicity right here. Trisha, raise your head up a little bit. Right there. Now I want you to look at Trisha. What kind of hat does it look like Trisha's wearing?
She looks like a pirate.
It looks like shaped like a pirate hat, kind of, even though it's a baseball hat.
Unbelievable.
It does look like a
Now this doll that
Ahoy, mates.
has, Derek, I told you the story on this doll and that I sent it to Cindy. But there's a synchronicity with Cindy in that doll.
Mm-hmm.
When I first showed it to Cindy,
I loved her.
Cindy loved her and felt that she had to have her.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some stuff went on that night that gave me some mental projections, and I'm like, yeah, Cindy, you can have this doll. I'll send it to you. Give me your address. So when I started telling Cindy, well, the doll was made in what year, Cindy?
1976, right?
Okay.
Was it 76?
No, it
Trying to
was the
remember.
year you were born.
Oh, 1971.
1971. The doll was made in 1971, and it was made in Germany. Okay. So the doll was made the same year Cindy was born, and Cindy's family is German.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
like the Weavers. They're German, and my mother's maiden name's Weaver. We're German.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I have German and I'm Irish and Scottish. I'm a mixture, but I definitely have German.
Yeah. And Ash thought that she was actually wearing a pirate hat until she moved.
Yeah, I did too. Because I see you guys in a small thumbnail.
Ahoy, mates.
But I want to explain what Ash did. It's a method I've been using for years. So what she did is, as soon as that doll fell, she looked at the time. She said it's 9:31. So she asked the Equidot or the computer, what was 931 days ago? What day was that? What is 931 days from today? Then she went right to left. That's where she gets to 139. So she's reversing it. And that's when it says here that it takes you to 139 days ago will take you to 1225. That's W.C. Fields' death. That's the whole point of part one.
Oh, okay. I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the?
Synchronicities. We do this
That's
every
called
morning.
synchronicity. Boom.
Podcast.
Boom.
I'm tripping out. She literally, she's in the middle. There's no, she would literally have to be pushed or, because she just felt, if she would have just fell over, she would have hit the desk, but she literally went off and it freaked me out because she's never fallen off the desk before. So what in the heck? I'm lost for words, man.
And look, I'm gonna share this real quick. Let's see here. Screen share.
Thank you, Ash. That was perfect, Ash. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, thank you, Ash. Oh
So
my
if you
God.
look right here, where the Wikipedia says that he was born January 29th, 1880,
Mhm.
died December the 25th, 1946, at the age of 66.
Oh,
And
he
he's
died in
from
California.
Pasadena, California.
Oh, I'm in California. Oh,
Unbelievable.
He was buried in Forest Lawn, California.
Gavin
So-
Newsom, what a nasty guy he is, okay? Governor Newsom, what a nasty guy, by the way, okay?
I'm
Just
gonna have to
joking.
step away for a second.
Just joking.
Oh my gosh.
So there
So-
you go. Tonight's episode was for you, Cindy.
I'm
Unbelievable.
tripping out. That's bizarre.
Going to get
Wow.
weirder. Cindy. It's
Okay.
going to get weirder tonight. You ready?
Sure.
Woo!
Oh,
Wow.
All right, I got my doll setting up. She's chilling. She's looking good tonight. Woo! She's my date. Anywho, All right, so that was neat. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, everyone. That's what I'm talking about. Real life, in the moment synchronicities. And yeah, so anywho, wow. We go on to WC Fields Part. We go on to WC Fields Part 2. There's a Part 2, everyone. I never thought it would ever happen. There's a Part 2.
This is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Let me get my 2025 calendar.
Everybody that would, if you're watching, it's in the chat. My 10-year-old son started a YouTube gaming channel, and he made a deal with me to push his channel out there, and the link is in the chat. If you would, please give him a little subscribe. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to cost you anything. And I'm sorry, Derek, to interrupt you, but it reminded me.
That's your son. Love it. WC Fields Part 2. Now, everything I just told you about Part 1 took place in 2013. And then the very final part of the pastor's death in 2018 on January 29th, which is WC Fields' birthday. So it has a final destination. All right, so 2025. We're going to WC Fields Part 2 comes alive. Here we go. March 8th. Here we go. This goes to Tricia. March 8th. Tell him.
March 8th is mine and Doug's wedding anniversary.
Unbelievable. What a great couple, okay? So, March 8th of 2025, I go to a store that I rarely go into on this, especially on a Saturday. I go in. I bought Slim Jim because I love Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. A drink and a book about near-death experiences written by Anthony Peake, who I've talked to before. He's from Europe. I go to the counter. There's an older gentleman, 77 years old. Very friendly. And I'm like, man, he looks like W.C. Fields. He looks like W.C. Fields. Almost. And we start talking, and he sees my book, and he goes, I'm an author. I'm like, you write? He goes, yeah, 20 years ago, I wrote a book about raising 2 sons with muscular dystrophy. And I'm like, well, I'll check it out. So he tells me the book, and it's hard to find. So I love purchasing my books from thriftbooks.com. And it says they get a copy once every 6 months. And so I signed up. Yes. So every 6 months, they get a copy. I sign up for it so I get alert. And we got to talking. We hit it off good. And he says, well, next time you come in here, I'll be more happy to lend you my only copy if you want to read it. I'm like, boy, he's trusting. I said, sure, but I'm still going to buy it, Let me get out my calendar. That's my notes. Okay. Now, before I left, I said, sir, I got to say, you look like W.C. Fields. You know what he says to me? He goes, must be the nose. Give me cold chills when he said that. Give me cold chills. Ash can verify. Ash knows who this guy is that I'm talking about. This doppelganger. Okay. I'll explain everything. So I leave going, nice guy. I look forward to reading his book, but yet something going to happen? All right, here we go. Here's my notes. I keep calendars. I document everything. Here we go. I wrote down, met W.C. Fields' doppelganger at a store. He's 77 years old, and his birthday is August 6th. Now, that's going to be relevant here in a little bit. I'm going to give you an update from last week's broadcast. Now, watch this. exactly 1 week later, on March 15th, my friend, who I've gotten to know for about 6 or 7 years, and I was just with the man Friday, the 14th. I was like, hey, dude, I went to the hockey game last night, and they had a Grateful Dead tribute band. Oh, it was great. He goes, yeah, I know those guys. My buddy, he's been to 130 Grateful Dead concerts. And I'm writing a short story about the Grateful Dead, like in it's a fictional story I did. I write short stories and poems, by the way. And great conversation. Matter of fact, I brought my son with me. And my son was wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. And my friend's like, hey, I got something for you. Gives him a Spider-Man comic from 1970 something. That's over here somewhere. Had a great conversation. He's 59 years old, my buddy. His birthday's coming up on May 3rd. Sorry, May 2nd. No, May 3rd. Anyway, on the 15th, he goes out, works a full day, goes to a restaurant, good vibes, having a good time. Dies of a heart attack in front of his friends.
Oh my God.
I don't find out, by the way, until 2 weeks later when I messaged him. I messaged him going, hey, I found this comic book from the 70s that I don't want no more. Would you be interested in it? And he didn't respond back to me at all. Usually he's quick, like within an hour or two. And I'm like, wonder what's going on. I go to the place where he works, their fan page. There's his obituary. I'm like, dang it. Love that guy. So that stuck out to me. But as time went on, and I'll tell you more, then I started seeing a pattern. So that concludes March. Next time I seen W.C. Fields' doppelganger was on the 19th. So I go in there, it's Easter weekend. I go in there, and he has the book. He gives it to me. It's worn down. It's on its last leg. But he cherishes it. You know why he cherishes it? Because he wrote about his two sons. He was an actual real father. He took care of two boys with muscular dystrophy in the 1970s, 80s, 90s. And that book made me cry, made me laugh, everything. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but he lent me this book. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to take care of it because this man trusts me. So on the 19th, he gives it to me. I read the entire thing on the 19th and 20th. That was a Saturday. 6 days later, on the 25th, mother-in-law's cat died. His name's Leo, which belonged to her late brother, Dan. The cat was really old. The next day on the 26th, I returned. Now remember Leo, okay? Remember Leo.
Okay.
I returned the book back on the 26th, which is the next day. And then the next day on the 27th, Ash, who was here, you point out that synchronicity?
Mm-hmm.
Her great uncle Leo died. So Leo the cat on the 25th.
Oh.
That's why I said remember Leo, because remember, I saw the doppelganger on the 19th. 6 days later on the 25th, Leo the cat dies. Next day on the 26th, I see the doppelganger again. And then the next day on the 27th, Ash's great uncle, Leo, dies. Two back-to-back Leos. Okay, I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. That concludes April. All right, now we get to May 2025. The next passing is my best friend's daughter's baby. She lost a baby in the moon. That was May 2nd. Now, I went back up there on a Saturday, May 3rd, to pick his book back up. Why? Because I said, you know what I'm going to do for you? you need to republish this book. Now, he wrote this book in 2003. There's only 5,000 copies, and it's hard to find anymore. He's on his last leg when it comes to that book. And I'm like, I said, do you have a file? I'll publish this for you on Amazon. He goes, I don't have a file. I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. Can I borrow your book again? I'll spend a full day taking a picture of every page, which is 300 and some pages. Then Google Lens it, copy and paste, put it into my own file. It's already edited, but I had to make some other editing. I found some errors that the previous person missed. Ash helped me. I thank you, Ash, for that. She helped with a lot of things. So get this. I get it on Saturday. By Sunday night, it's already in the system, submitted to Amazon. And by Tuesday, the 6th, it's already Kindle edition, paperback. And then by Thursday, the 8th, it's already, and you got a hardback. This man, 77 years old, I resurrected his book. He acted like he was 20. He was so thrilled. He's still thrilled. He's still fired up. And, okay, so that means I saw him on the 3rd, Saturday. What happened? One of my relatives sliced herself on the 5th, 2 days afterwards, and then her friend tried to take the thing away and slashed her neck. That was on the 5th.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Then
With
I
the
saw
same- the same.
and we're good, and she's fine.
Oh.
But yeah,
Oof.
but it could have been, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So glad we avoided that of death. On the 6th, the very next day, the doppelganger comes over here. He leaves. Hours later, my best friend's cousin dies at 8:32 p.m. on May 6th. Amy, because he keeps me updated about his cousin Amy, and she's a wonderful person. She had cancer and she was in her 50s. I met her at a funeral of my best friend, his mom's funeral, and very nice person. And like I said, he kept me updated. And it's just sad that she passed 8:32 p.m. The next day, on the 7th, friend came over, dropped something off, and then gets in the car accident. What else? Okay. And then on the 12th, my other cousin gets in a car accident with an older lady. She come and nailed my cousin. And then day after that, on the 13th, a friend of the family passed away at age 42 of a blood clot. And his birthday, and that guy's birthday is August 23rd, which interestingly, this is May 13th, 2025. And the friend of the family that passed away was like 42. And his name's Billy. And his birthday is 8/23. Literally on 8/23, just a few months later, me and the doppelganger was at a library signing autographs, and we submitted his book to the library. Anyhow, the next time I see the doppelganger was May 18th, just a week later. And that following week, which was that was a Sunday, so that following Saturday, the 24th, Ash's good friend, and I know her too, her husband passed away overnight, and he shares the same birthday as me. Dan, born 7/19. Yep. That concludes May. On to June. It just doesn't stop. I mean, it stops eventually, but we got a little bit of ways to go. June 1st. I saw him at work. And then I see him, and then I see him again a few days later on the 6th. And then 2 days after I see him, on June 8th, my neighbor growing up in the 80s and 90s, he passed away, Phil. Then on the 13th, my cousin destroyed his own house. And it could have been even more hardcore than it could have been way more serious. So I won't get into it. I know I'm vague on some of these things. It's just, point is that, all right. So then the next time I see the doppelganger, it's June 20th. I saw him at work. 3 days later, Ash, who's with us, her sister almost dies. Why? Because she got an allergic reaction and her EpiPen jammed.
Oh my God.
Ash, you remember? You remember?
That's scary.
So far, it's either death or almost death. So far. That concludes June. July 18th. I saw him at his work, according to my notes. 1, 2, 3 days later, my friend Rowdy Hogan dies. Now let me explain Rowdy Hogan. If you're a big wrestling fan, and you remember back in the 1990s, there was a guy that in a crowd in the front row would dress up like Hulk Hogan. That was my buddy.
Oh.
And back in 2017, I remember he got a kick out of this. So I play wrestling on the Xbox at the time, and there's a thing called community creations where you can create your own wrestler and people can download it. Well, I made him a wrestler and people could download. And I said, dude, I made you as a downloadable. Anybody in the world can download you now. He goes, no way. And I sent him the pictures, and he bragged about it. He's like, this is awesome. Thank you, dude. So this was a really strange week for all of us, really, for those who are nostalgic. Because I'm adding this because of Rowdy Hogan, because Rowdy Hogan loved Hulk Hogan, and yet Hulk Hogan died 3 days later after my buddy died. Remember?
What?
Ozzy died. Remember? Okay, let me take you back here.
Oh my gosh.
July 19th. July 19th is my birthday. July 19th is my birthday. July 20th, Malcolm Jamal Warner dies, the guy from Cosby Show. 21st, Rowdy Hogan died. The person I knew. The next day on the 22nd, Ozzy Osbourne died. And by the way, I'm not saying this. I'm just bringing up these celebrities because it's because Rowdy died, and then after Ozzy, it was Hogan, Hulk Hogan, who Rowdy imitated, died on the 24th. So all that nostalgia is gone. Now, by the way, so far, I'm not saying this doppelganger is causing these things. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a correlation. He's like a walking omen without knowing he's a walking omen. He has nothing to do with these deaths. He's a great guy, really sweet old man. I'm just saying is when I physically see him, crap's happening. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I'm not saying, and I'm not including the celebrity deaths. By the way, I'm just stating the celebrity deaths because that was a crazy week. No matter what, you had Ozzy and Hulk Hogan, back deaths right there. And of course, Malcolm Jamal Warner from Cosby Show, if you like the Cosby Show back in the day. Anywho, that concludes July. Now we go on to August. I see him on the 23rd, where we're signing autographs. Two days later, I get another nail in my tire. And then 5 days after that, my step cousin's dad passed away at age 75, and my coffee clock stopped at 5:13. And I just put a battery not too long ago, by the way. That concludes August. Nothing in September. Nothing in October. That means I didn't see him in September, and I didn't see him in October. Now, I've talked to him on the phone, but I didn't see him. November. He came over. Okay, so I finally obtained his original book on Thrift Books. Showed up here, and he got so darn excited. He's like, I want to see my original book. It was autographed. I go, dude, it's autographed. He goes, yeah, I used to sign a lot. He came over, seen his old book, the original one. Got it over here. So he showed up on the 1st of November. 4 days later, my classmate passed away at age 45, Dustin. Great guy. Yeah, so it's unfortunate. Then on the 16th, he came back over on the 16th. And he wanted to order some books, his own books, because he was wanting to order tons of them, and he was going to give them away or sell them personally. So he gave me the money so I could put on the card, and he's not into technology, so I'm happy to do that for him. That was on the 16th. 5 days later, on the 22nd, he's my former uncle, but he was married to my aunt for decades. They divorced probably 20 years ago. Him and his son passed away.
Him and his son?
Yeah. It was a their own doing. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's tough. That was a tough call. My cousin was like, Derek called me. I'm thinking it's going to be about my missing cousin, my other missing cousin. And when I called her and she said, my dead brother or dead, what can I say to her?
Yeah.
What are you? This is right before Thanksgiving. Our minds are thinking about the holidays, and you hear that news, and I'm just like, it was just the most. I'll tell you what. Thanksgiving was, from that day forward and most of December, it was just a haze for me. Okay. December 9th is the next time I see him. He came by to pick up the books he ordered. And see, the day before, on the 8th, I got reports that they found a dead body. And everyone, including myself, thought that might be my missing cousin. He's been missing for almost 3 years. We've been looking for him. I've worked my butt off. Well, on the 9th, he comes over, the doppelganger, picks up his books he ordered back in November. He left, and a few hours later, my cousin's ex messaged me and says they confirm it's my cousin.
Oh,
and I'm so happy because we worked hard, and I talked about this last week about my dream about finding my cousin, and I can repeat it again just for the sake of just talking about it, but I'll do it, But and I just knew something clicked in me that there were so many emotions. There was one emotion where it felt like I know he's dead, But at the same time, I feel like he just died again. They found him. I feel like he just died again. So then, rest of my December was just a haze, trying to navigate my thoughts. And I knew that from that day forward, also, that this whole doppelganger crap is going to end. I just knew it, and I'll talk about it here in a second because I got the 2026 calendar over here to talk about it. But let me recap. I do want to bring this up because I do want to say this because listen to your dreams, people. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a psych. I'm just an observer. I'm open-minded. Let me tell you something that's been documented. Facebook, if you're familiar with Facebook, you got memories, right? You get reminded that you posted something last year, or whatever on this day, going way back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But before I get to that part, on January 21st, 2025, I said this in the last episode. I had a dream where I'm looking for my missing cousin. I called the detective in my dream. Instead of getting the detective that I normally talk to, it's my classmate, my old classmate, Daniel. And he's a detective in my dream. Now, to give you a little backstory, Daniel was never a detective in real life. He passed away in 2023. He was in his 40s. He's a mechanic, right? Nice guy. I knew him since the 1980s. Grew up together. He's a little bit older than me. But in my dream, he's a detective. You know what he says to me? He says, "We found your cousin's body." He comes to pick me up in the dream. And we go to this house, and I talk to others. I never see the body. Then we went to a restaurant, and then you know how dreams are. So I woke up. I typed this dream in. I made a post about it. I said, well, Daniel passed away here. Daniel's birthday is here. I said, maybe this is a good sign that we're going to find him. Well, that day came and went. Guess what? No news. That week went by. No news. So January, nothing happened. And I'm so passionate. I've been looking for my cousin. I've done news articles. I've done lives. I've answered everybody's messages. I mean, I'm in it to find him. And I just don't want my dreams to play head games with me. Mm-hmm. And I was disappointed that nothing good came out in January. Here's where it gets interesting, as I just told you. So it's January 2025, right? Let's move it all the way to December 2025. So 11 months later. They find my cousin. It was three guys happened to look into an abandoned house and look through the windows of the garage and go, oh, looks like a body's wrapped up. So in January 21st, 2026, this year, Facebook says you got a memory. I check it, and it shows me that dream. And my jaw dropped. Because what are the chances I dream about my classmate Daniel, who passed away in October of 2023, and he plays a detective in that dream, and he tells me we found your cousin's body, and literally on Daniel's birthday, would have been his birthday, they find my cousin's body.
Okay, so it seems to me that I think spirits are coming to you and talking to you. In my opinion, I wouldn't call it a dream. I think you've got a message. that was a message given to you about your cousin, in my opinion. Not saying to, but wow.
This is the same cousin that was in prison and got out.
Yeah, so he was in prison, did drugs, got out on February 15th, went missing by February 17th. Leading theories were that he overdosed and someone moved his body.
Yeah, because we figured out when I was down at my dad's, my sister was there. And me and my dad was telling my sister about Synchronicities and Derek. So he come across the radio and he was sharing this story to her. And February 15th is my sister's birthday. But not only that, my sister's also a correctional officer.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that freaked her out, though.
I feel like I need to start writing stuff down now after hearing all of it. I really feel like I need to start.
Every time I have a dream, I go in his live every morning. I'm like, did you have a dream last night? He says, no. I'm like, I had a dream, and I'll tell him about it. And the last one I had Synchronicities with Ash.
Derek, Trisha just shared sent happy poop things.
I've seen that.
Oh, there's a synchronicity.
There's a synchronicity. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I have a poop synchronicity. It was a
yes. Yeah.
I really want to know.
Yeah. Derek, Derek is so good at breaking this down. I'm going to let Derek break it down.
Okay, what's this happy poop thing?
Let me talk about. All right, but it's a good intermission because, a good intermission of talking about poop. All right. All right, I got the calendar in front of me, and I wrote it down in my calendar.
I hope this is
July 21st. So, folks that are watching right now, both live and replay, we're taking an intermission from part 2 of WC Fields, and we're going to talk about poop for a little bit, and then we're going to go back to part 2 and finish that up. And then I got Otis Redding, and hopefully I can fit in the June 6th. All right. July 20th, Mike is, of course, he works out of state and he does this thing. He went to his hotel and in the hallway, and I quote the great Mike, smells like a box of turds. So he goes downstairs. He tells the receptionist, "What does it smell like? A box of turds?" I think it's sewage. The next day, I'm doing TikTok. And this guy, and before Mike comes in, there's a guy named User404. And the first question out of this funny troll's mouth is, "Hey, have you ever farted in a Pringles can?" And then Mike comes in and says, he comes in and he says, "Man, the hotel smells like a box of turds." And my boss messaged me this morning and says, "The next place you're going to smells like shit." And on his way there, we were talking about Little House on the Prairie, and we had a synchronicity in the conversation. And Mike saying, "Oh, I like the old school." And he's talking about they talk about outhouse and all this other stuff. He rolls up to his job, and the first thing he sees is someone through the drive-thru hauling 2 porta potties. And this next half a day or full day is going to be in a place that smells like crap. And he ended up going, and then I guess he remedied the situation, but he had to come back out there days later to get it fixed. And then you guys had that car accident the next day on the 22nd. The cousin that I told you we found his body, his son also had an accident the same day that you had an accident on an ATV. Had to get a new hip replacement and everything. I mean, tore him up.
Oh my gosh.
17 years old, poor kid. And then Mike saw a tornado coming down to Danville. So that's on the calendar. I have it down. It's the poop sinks.
And I hope now he brings this back up. I really do. He's going to bring it back up. It's like, I have some shit synchronicities that I want to talk about.
And then I'm driving home just a couple of days later, and I got a kitten. Kitten's meowing. We're like, why is cat meowing? I thought it was hungry. So I stopped at this gas station and go in and get a can of wet food, come back out, and my son is like this in the truck. I'm like, what? He said, the cat crapped in the box, and we don't have any air freshener. So we're traveling 8 hours with this. We can't make this shit up, literally.
Yeah, we literally can't make this up.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So wrap up part 2. Like I said, when I found my cousin, or when they found my cousin, and with the doppelganger, I was like, I think this is over with. So in January, didn't see him. I saw him on February 27th. He wanted me to order more copies for him. And a few days after that, I dream about W.C. Fields. The man himself. He's in my dream. W.C. Fields, not the doppelganger. Yep, him. He shows up. We're at a mall. I'm at the bookstore. I walk into the bookstore.
Yeah.
I said, here's my notes. Dreamt of W.C. Fields at mall. Bookstore, asked for anything by W.C. Fields. The guy grabbed a brown leather bound book. Then W.C. Fields appeared in a dark brown suit and said, yeah, he should read it. It's one of 3. And I'm like, okay. And I'm reading like a bunch of books that week. So that's another side story. Then a week after that, on the 10th, I saw Mick. I saw the doppelganger, named Mick, and he came to pick up his books. And they sent it in two different times, on the 10th and the 17th. So when he picked it up on the 10th, nothing happened. My point is, nothing. My prediction came true. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Right.
With that drink, like nothing. I have nothing to count. Same thing on the 17th when he came to pick up the rest of the order. Nothing happened. So everything's been quiet, right? So now I'm going to give you an update to close the part 2. Remember me? If you guys, for those, obviously those on the panel was live with me, but those who might have watched the replay, well, you guys should know this. Is my point. I talk about bats, the synchronicities of bats. Time there's a bat show up, people die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell you about the bat story, and if you guys haven't seen it, watch last broadcast. So I'm with you guys on the 1st. I tell you the bat story. And then 5 days later, on the 6th of August, a bat showed up at 1:45 in the morning. Guess whose birthday that is?
What?
Guess whose birthday that is? The doppelganger's birthday. He's 79.
Oh, wow.
The bat shows up on the doppelganger's birthday. Now, I am not claiming he's going to pass away. I'm just saying the bat showed up, and I have pictures of it. It's on TikTok. Shows up on his 79th birthday at 1:45 in the morning. Little guy. He just wanted to go to sleep. Got onto the wall and went to sleep. Anyway, I have a report. Because I tell you, every time there's a bat, people die. I heard of one report before going live on here, but I didn't have time to really go through my criteria about it. I kind of wanted to analyze it more because I was busy watching the soccer game, and I was like, "Where's Messi at?" Because I'm watching his team. His dad died last night. And he's flying back to Argentina. And I'm like, "Oh, that's sad." And then I'm talking to a friend whose brother found. I'll wait, but that might meet the criteria. But I'd rather not say anything at the moment. But more to come. So there's always a death after a bat within a week or so. And once again, for those who didn't hear about the bat story, go visit the last broadcast, last Saturday's broadcast, and I talk about the bat synchronicities going back to 2020. So that concludes part 1 and part 2 of W.C. Fields. He's my homie. We're from different times, but that's okay. That's my homie right there. Love you, W.C. Fields. You're a great guy. You're a wonderful guy, okay? We love what you're doing, okay?
So what everybody doesn't know, and I want to tell everybody that's watching right now, Cindy doesn't even know that Derek will be joining us as a co-host on Monsters Unleashed weekly. So
Nice.
I want to draw.
You want to draw? Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Because there's going to be some time. I'll admit, there's going to be times where you guys are going to be talking about things that I'm not even involved with. Like, if you guys get the big hunt, talking about Bigfoot and cryptoids, I'll just sit back and draw and listen. And I'm here if you guys need me. I'll be with you guys. But there's going to be some things my input ain't going to be much because it's not my forte. But certain guests, sure, I'll.
Well, what my thoughts is on it is that, Derek is really big, huge in synchronicities, and he's really big with dates. He can remember these dates.
And philosophy.
I want to see synchronicities between some of these people's encounters. And stuff that they've done, and maybe Derek can tie some of that together. So I think that's a huge addition to the channel. It really is, because Derek may be able to pull encounters together. Well, this person had this encounter on this day, and this one has on this, and then if you do this, then this syncs those together, and in certain areas. And Derek also, he likes to draw, so maybe he'll get a good picture of Trisha's cousin, hand drawn.
She's hot. She's hot.
That is not my cousin. Do not message me. Ask me if it's my cousin.
And Trisha's lizard husband.
Now that is my husband.
I forgot.
The thing about me, for those who know, I love philosophy, I love religion, I love history, I love documentaries, I love numbers, I love dreams, I love paranormal, I love all that stuff. I'm a nerd. So I'm in it to win it on things. And so I'm sitting in my own library. I've got books over here, thousands of books around me, and I'm a nerd. So there's things, I look at from all different angles. I mean, I scrutinize my own work. And anywho, what was I going to say? I don't know. The point is, there's going to be some times where I might not be able to say much because it's not my forte, but I'll be definitely sponging everything. And I like to draw a picture for each show. That's just me. I don't know. Now, whether it represents someone like the other lady who really appreciated my picture and thinks it's one of her spirit guides or something. This is the current picture. I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's got to mean anything. It's just an obscure, abstract face that's haunting in the eyes. Yeah. That's it. That's all it is. Now, if it spooks people, if it gets people to think, if it does something to your subconscious, it's whatever. So
I have to add something.
What's the picture that you did last Saturday?
Yeah, I did one. You want to see the one I did last Saturday?
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch the episode last Saturday.
Yeah, we talked about all sorts of things. All right, this is the dude from last Saturday.
Oh. Okay. And you saw this while just sitting or in a dream? Or
No. When I draw, I don't think about it. Like I just
Okay.
like I take a stick of charcoal. I take a stick of charcoal
Yeah.
and I use my fingers. That's it.
Okay.
I do like I it's crazy how I do it, and then I take my fingers and I just create a face.
Okay. Okay.
And I could do it in like 4 minutes.
Interesting.
Oh, Ash
I don't know
Antics.
what I'm drawing. I just don't know what I'm drawing.
Yeah.
I don't go into it with something. I just let it go.
Ash Antics says when he was younger, it happened a lot. Different people. We said that you'd have a twin, and that he has seen them. Well, Ash, we've all seen your twin. If you've watched Joe Dirt, there's Ash Antics' twin, and he's got all kinds of stuff. You would have to see a picture of Ash to know what I'm talking about, Derek. Ash looks like a fireworks guy.
We have 2 different Ashes.
And we love Ash Antics. And Ash, we love you, Ash, okay? We absolutely love you. But if they ever make a Joe 3, we're going to put you in for that role. And you'll be a whole lot cheaper than that guy.
Wow. Christopher Walken's got to be in it. Otis Redding Dream. Otis Redding Dream. For those who remember Otis Redding, he sang the song "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay." That one. It was released after his passing. Now, this is back on December the 18th of last year. I dreamt I was in the bathroom, and there was a guy and girl that were younger than me, probably in their early 20s. And they kept messing with me with stupid music. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I go into the shower, and there's a radio. And I started playing "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay" by Otis Redding to annoy them. That was the dream. I woke up and I knew that Otis Redding had passed away in a plane crash. This is what I already knew before looking at Wikipedia. He passed away sometime in December in a plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Wikipedia and it showed that he passed away on the 10th. I read his Wikipedia and my jaw dropped, because what are the chances I dream about, well, reference to him, because that's a song, right? I picked that song out of all the songs I know. That the 18th would have been his 58th anniversary of his funeral. Now, I said to myself, well, I'm like, well, that's cool. I started thinking about W.C. Fields, because remember the whole 66 years to his funeral?
Yeah.
I'm like, hope nothing's going to happen. A few hours go by, I'm watching the news, and Greg Biffle, ex-NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, and his wife and 2 kids, along with the pilot and whoever else, sadly perished in a plane crash. It was horrible.
Oh my God.
It was horrible. It's sad.
Oh man.
I actually met Greg.
You did.
I actually hung out with Greg Biffle, and he took me down to a racetrack, and we rode side by sides around on this racetrack and stuff. Back when I worked for this company doing HVAC, I spent the whole day with Greg. He's an awesome guy. Awesome guy.
Yeah, and I'm not saying. Let me preface this. I'm not saying I didn't make no prediction. I personally don't know Greg. I know Greg from NASCAR. He did a YouTube video. He did his own YouTube, and my jaw was dropping, because it's sad that a family are on the way to Florida, North Carolina, or wherever he's living, and they perish. This is during the holidays. And my heart broke. And I'm like, what is this? What is this, God? I mean, I dream about Otis Redding. I'm thinking about a plane crash, because that's how Otis passed away in 1968 or 67 or whatever it was. Why did I dream about Otis Redding 58 years in his 58th anniversary of his funeral? And they originally were supposed to have it on the 15th, but they extended out to the 18th so more people would show up, according to Wikipedia. Now, let me take you to January 20, got on my notes here. January 24th. I go to a church. It's a Saturday. And they're having a sports card show. I go in there. There's a gentleman who has those 164 scale cars, NASCAR cars. And I said, hey,
Yeah.
I said, do you happen to have Greg Biffle? And he says, no, I have some at my house. And then I tell him about my dream. I just opened up to him. I was like, here's the reason why I want Greg Biffle. And I told him about the dream. He goes, I'm not trying to one up you, sir. He says to me, he's like, I'm not trying to one up you, but I got a story for you. I'm like, okay. He showed me, he hadn't spoke the words yet. He's got cold chills. And I'm thinking, okay. I'm like, what is he going to tell me? He's got cold chills without even speaking the story. He goes, you remember Benny Parsons? I said, yeah, I used to do NASCAR back in the day, and he was an ESPN analyst. He goes, yep. My dad was friends with Benny. I don't know what his dad did, by the way, but he told me I just don't remember. He said, Benny's the one that met Greg and connected Greg with Jack Roush to give Greg his start in NASCAR, get him going. Benny's the one. And they've become friends ever since, like 1994 or something like that. So the guy tells me when his dad died, Benny borrowed Greg's plane, flew it right here in Ohio, attended calling hours, the funeral at the cemetery, and flew that night. That's the same plane that Greg died on.
What?
This is what the guy's telling me.
What?
Now, with that fresh in my brain, and I ended up getting a car from him, Jeremy Mayfield. Anyhow, it's hanging right up there. I go home, and I start saying to myself, you know what? I want to know the dates of the wife and the kids. That is, I knew when they passed, obviously, 12, 18, but I want to know more about them, like when were they born? So I found their obituaries. They have a son that perished with them who's 5 years old. And my jaw dropped.
Oh,
The son's birthday. Now get this. I dreamed about Otis Redding, 58 years to the 58th anniversary of his funeral. Greg Biffle and his family perished in a plane crash. The 5-year-old son shares the same birthday as Otis Redding, September 9th.
wow.
I can't tell you why. I don't know. It happened.
What?
I can't. It don't make me excited because it's sad. If I knew Greg, I don't know. It's like things that are out of your hands and you don't even know. I'm not saying. I just see this pattern. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't. It's just scary. I don't take this lightly. It's crazy. Which leads me to my final 2 parts: the June 6th dream, part 1, and the June 6th dream, part 2. I got some items to show you here in a second. Oops. All right, June 6th of 2022. Here's my dream. I did a painting for my dream. It's right there. Here's my dream. I'm in my hometown. I got my former brother-in-law cooking. He's grilling. I see my dad and stepmom. I see my former stepdad, and I'm talking about a French author, and I kept saying his name. Did it 3 times. Guy de Maupassant. Guy de Maupassant. On the picnic table, there are 2 books. This one, Pierre Barras, which is by Henri de Balzac, a 19th century French writer. This exact one, hardback, blue, everything. Next to J.D. Salinger's, remember the book Catcher in the Rye? Laying side by side. I walk past my stepmom. I go straight to my former stepdad. Before I get a word out, here comes my dad. And he says, yeah, I'm going to take Derek, which is me, and my daughter with me. I'm going to take Derek and my granddaughter to the funeral. I didn't want to go. I didn't know who was going to be there, and I didn't want to go. That was my dream. I woke up, and I'm like, maybe I should order that book by Henri de Balzac. I went to Thrift Bookstop. Well, I knew that I've seen this before, and I was hoping it was still going to be there at half-price books. But I went to thriftbooks.com, and I ordered a Penguin edition on June 6th. So I woke up from that dream and ordered a book. On June 13th, it arrived. Now look, if you can see it, it's a Paul Bearers taking a casket.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 2 days later, on June 15th, this is exactly what it looked like in my dream. I picked it up at a half-price books. I didn't begin to read this novel until August 16th of 2022. It took me from August 16th to August 20th to read the entire thing. Here's where it gets crazy. And here's where it gets totally off the rails. I get a phone call from my mother August 19th. And she goes, Frank, my former stepdad, he goes, he passed away. I said, what? He's only like 63 years old. I go, when? She goes, I don't know. I said, I'll call around. So I call the hospital, and they call me back. And the reason why they call me back is because I'm still on his address. I said, I know you can't give me every detail. I just want to simply know, when did he pass? She goes, yesterday or last night on the 18th. My jaw dropped. I didn't tell the nurse about it, but reason why my jaw dropped. But she still needed me though. She goes, Derek, can you sign off, because we don't want the body over here throughout the weekend, and we already picked a funeral home. We just need you to. That funeral home. Remember that dream? Let's go back to my dream.
Yeah.
So Frank, former stepdad, remember my dad showed up and said, we're going to be going up to the funeral home. Now watch this. Now watch this. That funeral home. Let me back it up. Remember I told you my former brother-in-law is grilling?
Yeah.
Okay? This is all taking place at my former brother-in-law's parents' place, by the way.
Okay.
And if you were to step outside the front door, you would see the funeral home. And that's what the nurse picked. I didn't pick it. The nurse did. I signed off on it.
Wow.
Yep. Now watch this. That was the 18th. Watch this. So my former stepdad dies on 8/18. The man who wrote this book also died on 8/18 in the 19th century. Now,
8/18 was the anniversary of my first marriage.
Interesting. Now, remember, this is the exact copy, like design, everything from that dream.
Yeah.
Well, who created this book? Franklin Library. What's his name? Frank.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, there is more. Let's backtrack to August 5th. Now, in my dream on 6/6, I mentioned Guy de Maupassant, who was a 19th century short story writer. Said it three times, right? August 5th, a woman who's like a mother to me passed away. August 5th is Guy de Maupassant's birthday. And she also, too, is from the same area where my former in-laws live. On the 6th, unbeknownst to me, the very next day, my former stepdad went to the hospital. He went in for one thing, but unfortunately passed to something else on the 18th. On (8/14), once again, my dad's stepmom was in my dream. My dad's aunt, or my great aunt, her name's Kay, which is the middle name of my stepmom, who was also born in 1971, by the way, weirdly. I'm 45 and she's 55. Anywho. I know, that's weird. Passed away. So we have my dad's connection with the aunt, Kay, stepmom, middle name Kay. Moved them to the side. 8/18, former stepdad dies. 9/13, my mom's mom died, my grandma. Now, how has she become relevant? Because the cover of Catcher in the Rye has a horse on it, like very faint. And she was big into horses. My mom was big into horses. So I tired of that. 9/21, just a week later or so, my former brother-in-law, we're at his parents' house. His dad dies.
What?
Yeah. What else? Did I get everybody? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's other deaths, but that's a longer story that will take a while. But there's the main ones where I can at least connect it to that dream. Every piece I could fit. This happened, and like I said, this dream was 6/6, and everything started kicking off on 8/5, Guy de Maupassant's birthday. Now, to conclude, this one's a lot shorter. I'm gonna have to use my, June 6th of 2023. So everything I just told you was 2022. Would it happen again on June 6th, 2023? That means we'll have a dream. And will there be implications? The dream was weird. I'm walking around. Someone says, "Hey, do you know that Jeremy Reddick died?" I'm like, "Isn't he one tied with Jimi Hendrix?" That was the dream. Made no sense. On September the 12th, Ash gets a message. Ash will remember this. She gets a message on her Facebook and says, "Hey, how can I get a hold of Derek? I had a dream about him. I have this saved as a snapshot." She's like, "How can I get a hold of Derek? I haven't talked to him in a while. I had a dream about him the other day, and oh, by the way, my brother died this morning at 10 in the morning." And my jaw dropped because, let me back it up. 3 years prior, I predicted her grandmother's death, the girl that messaged that. And on the morning of her grandmother's death, my last dream for the day was I'm sitting in a room, and you know those Dixie cups, beer cups? Yeah. I was talking to my old gym teacher. What I would do is I write a note, put it in the cup, and wait. and then take it out and read what he said. Like some type of weird communication.
Yeah.
And I have the note still in my journal from my dream journal. And what are the chances that 3 years later that gym teacher passes away on 9/12, and the woman who's trying to get a hold of me through Ash, I haven't talked to her in like a couple years, messaged me on 9/12, tell me that she dreamt about me and that her brother died on 9/12.
What? Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And then nothing happened in June 6, 2024, or any other years after that. So pay attention to your dreams, write everything down, observe. You may not know why everything happens the way it does, but I'm still plunging in there and just trying to dissect this and try to understand. And it's wild. We live in a very weird world, very paradoxical world, full of ironies, full of synchronicities. It's crazy.
Speaking of ironies, Derek.
Yeah.
Speaking of ironies, I need you to get your calendar out for today. for August the 8th. In your calendar, Trisha put the poop emoji thing in our chat. You spoke about my poop synchronicities. Okay. Mm-hmm. Trisha spoke about her poop synchronicity with the cat pooping in the box and her having to ride 8 hours home. Then Trisha disappears off the screen. She messages me. She says, I had to change shirts. The cat shit on me.
Are you talking about during the slides?
I will get my shirt and show it to you. She did.
What?
Yeah.
Same cat.
Let me write down the cat shit. Hold on.
Yeah. You can't
I'll
make
write this
shit.
down. I'm going to write this. No, I'm going to write this.
You,
no, don't spare us, please.
Because it was, I had the cat in my arm because she was meowing like something was wrong with her. So I was trying to like console her, make her feel better. And the next thing you know, I smell something.
She had the shit. That's why she was meowing.
She was in her litter box room.
We're going to get demonetized.
To let her out.
I'll tell you right now.
I just saw the message too at 7:31. Had to step away. Michael's cat shit on me.
I'm just calendar worthy, Derek. It's calendar worthy. I mean,
it is calendar worthy. I have it marked down for 7/21 of that poopy day, and now 8/8. I'm gonna have to write down that during the live broadcast, you were pooped on.
After telling the story about the cat pooping in the box and having to ride home,
it's unbelievable.
What time was the message? So it would have been.
It was not 10:31.
Like 10:31 Eastern time. So she probably pooped on me about 5-6 minutes prior. Yeah, go me.
Only on Monsters Unleashed.
I'm always getting into shitty situations. Always. When my little brother Mikey was a baby, he was a preemie, and they brought him home, and it was my first time ever changing a diaper. So when I changed his diaper, he shit on me.
Yep.
Yeah.
But 10/31 Halloween, that was my grandmother's birthday.
We did have a Halloween synchronicity. I remember we also had one for January 11th. Then we had one for winter of 1986. And wasn't there an 88 one?
I know 4 was.
But I hope everybody's enjoyed this show tonight, because Derek's got a lot to bring to the table, and he'll be on, and sometimes he'll be on just to do his synchronicities that he's saved up for us.
And I get new ones. I've had some new ones this week. And you never know, like by the time, like I'm filling in for Royce tonight. Royce was supposed to be on tonight, Native American friend of mine. But I think it's divine timing that he didn't come on, because we'd missed the poop sink. Cindy?
Yeah.
No, this is Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is not my.
I know it's not your Cindy. Okay.
No, I'm Cindy, aka Giggles. I have Coven of Curiosity podcast.
Maybe I'm off here. What's the 6 connection to you?
6? Like 1 6?
No, just 6.
Just the number 6.
I don't know if it has to do with either 6 or something, or your birthday's the 6th, or something major on the 6th. I don't know.
No, my birthday's in November.
I don't know what the 6 is.
71.
Don't you normally have 6 people on your panel?
Not anymore.
I can't get it out of my brain.
4.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
The same
I'm
thing
not sure about this.
Same thing happened with Trish. I said, "What is 1986?" What, like, that just comes into me. She goes, "I have no connection to 1986." Well, the very next day on her broadcast on TikTok, I come in there and she goes, "Derek, what?" And she goes, "My dad's first." She was reading your book, and she goes, "My dad's first experience is 1986." I said, "Well, there you go. We falsified it." When something comes in number 4, if something comes in heavy, I can't get rid of it. I don't know. I'll admit to you, I don't know the premise. I don't know the background. I hear. I'm not psychic, but I'm saying that when I hear certain things, it's like it's stuck. If it's stuck,
I get it.
I say it without giving you anything else.
So now, if I since you've been talking, June is my grandmother, my grandma Ray, who I was very, very close to. She's like a second mom to me. She was born in June. She is passed. And when I'm looking at you, I keep getting a Brian for some reason. Brian keeps repeating into my head. And I don't know why.
You're good. You're good.
I keep hearing Brian.
You got Brian, and I got Blue Dress. I got Blue Dress, and you got Brian.
Yeah. And I keep getting Brian, like something, I'm getting a Brian behind you.
No, I will say this. My cousin who went missing, and they found him. His brother's Brian. He's still alive. That's why I said, "Wow."
Oh, yeah. Okay, because I keep getting. It kept playing in my head.
Wait, Cindy, didn't you share a story one time about a girl in a blue dress? Or was that somebody else? Somebody shared a story of a girl in a blue dress.
I don't recall a blue dress. I know that I had that, what I call floating. Now I don't call them dreams anymore, like I mentioned, where I saw a young lady in blue jeans, black boots going up underneath her knee, red coat, and she was going up to an apartment complex. I could feel the breeze. It was a light wind, but she was going up, and I literally saw her being unalived. I literally was watching it.
I will say this. You were just talking about seeing, like, hearing Brian and seeing, like, a Brian behind him. Earlier,
Yeah.
I kept seeing his curtain move.
I feel like there's something there with you. But for some reason, I kept getting the name Brian repeatedly in my head. And it's like I had to say something finally because it was driving me crazy.
And as you're thinking, Brian, I'm thinking blue dress, which is a B connection, but I don't know. That just came to my brain. I don't know how that ties in. It could be your grandmother.
I'm going to write this down.
Your grandmother had a blue dress that was special to her, or she was buried in a blue dress, something with a blue dress.
Oh, hold on a minute. You just made me think. I got to find that picture. I think if I remember, oh my God, I think I remember my grandma. My grandfather was a Mason, and my grandmother was part of the Eastern Stars, which is part of the Mason, and I was a Job's daughter, which is part of the Masons. My grandma, if I can find that picture, I believe she wore a blue dress for one of it was like a fancy gown. And I was still young then. I was only in elementary school. But if I totally have that picture in my head, my grandpa's wearing his nice suit, and then he has his Mason apron around him because he moved up in the Masons. I think she wore a blue dress in that picture. I'm going to have to find it. Derek, you and I need to connect because I want to. This is what in the world? I think she is wearing a blue dress in that. I got to look. I got to find that picture.
And what was his name?
My grandpa, Lynn.
Lynn?
Lynn. Lynn.
Interesting.
Lynn Smith.
I have a step grandmother named Lynn. She's from Australia.
Really?
I think
my grandpa was Lynn, and then my grandma was Ray Dean.
But then with that blue, but with the blue dress, then that would be would that be like, to me, if I think blue dress, and I think any woman that dressed very nice, wear dresses, would have a blue dress. But what would make it that special then? Is it because of that, or
it was because of my grandfather getting? I think he moved up to being the master. Was he 33rd?
Then he moved up to 33rd.
Yes, he moved up.
Gotcha.
And it's the lodge right here in San Diego that we would go to on Hotel Circle. It's near Hotel Circle here in San Diego. There's a Mason lodge. It's huge. His picture's hanging up with all the others and all that. Gosh, now I've got that picture stuck in my head.
I would love to confirm, if you can confirm that. That'd be interesting.
I know where it's at. I just need to.
And the other thing I'm hearing, or I'm thinking, I don't want to say hearing, well, thinking is, where's the pilot connection?
Oh, that's my grandpa. That's my grandpa Sap. He was in the Navy. He used to go. He was a sailor on an aircraft carrier.
Where was he, a pilot?
No, he wasn't a pilot, but he worked with the pilots.
No.
No? Okay.
I'm thinking a pilot. That's cool. That's cool that I'm thankful for his service and he worked with pilots, but I don't know. Maybe my criteria is, when I hear pilot, I think someone ought to be a pilot. I don't know. That's the only thing.
have an ex-boyfriend that is a pilot. He flies the little what you call those, the smaller airplanes, the more
single engine.
What are they, Cessnas? Is that not what they're
Yeah,
called?
Cessna.
Yeah, he flies those, but he's not a commercial air pilot. But he does fly airplanes. That's the only pilot that I know of off the top of my head.
Well, guys, we're at our 2 hours.
Interesting.
We can continue this maybe next week. Y'all's discussion on this. But
Yeah.
Derek, also, I did want to bring it up that my truck that Trisha was in the accident with, my wife and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you. I got it all put back together and upgraded.
Ooh.
We have a big show next week. It's full panel. Probably gonna have to do some rearranging a little bit because we have Soulfire Paranormal coming on next week. So there's not 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them, but they'll be on the show next weekend. So I think everybody's gonna love them. You might find some synchronicities with them as well.
Yeah, they're awesome. They really are. They're awesome. So, and Ash Antics, appreciate you stopping by, brother. We really appreciate you being faithful to us and hanging out with us. But everybody, we're going to call it a show, and I just want to bring it up that we are going to be at the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival, and it's October the 9th through the 11th. I'm sorry, I got the 12th one here, but it's the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival in Summersville, West Virginia. If you're watching this, you want to come out and meet us, say hello. We're going to have a booth there selling some of our merchandise. We got some really cool shirts, some nice hats, just like these, all kinds of little trinkets and doodads and stuff like that. So come out and help support us.
I'm tempted.
It's going to be an awesome time. Yeah, man. We hope that you can come down. It's not really that far for you, Derek. You should come down and see us.
October 9th, that's Friday. I should be free.
Yep.
At least on that day.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Bring your
And then
paranormal stuff.
we're headed to Ohio to Donna Copus's house, and we're going to go up there and do some researching up in there for a few days. So it should be a good time. But being that, everybody, we'll catch you next Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monsters Unleashed. And everybody tune in for when's Cryptid Awakenings? Is it going to be Tuesday, Trisha, or
Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
Then you can catch Cindy on Covenant of Curiosities. And Cindy, what time is it?
It's now on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 Eastern.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And everybody, good night.
They're out there watching, waiting. Oh, yeah. Cold night, black sky, headlights cut the trees. Something moving in the shadows, and it's staring back at me. Every road we travel got a story soaked in fear. Every scream inside the holler says the monsters still live here. Campfire burning, radios hiss, tracks in the mud, nobody can explain this. Eyes in the darkness, glowing through the rain. Once you see the truth, man, you never think the same. We came for answers, but answers ain't enough. The deeper that we go, just begun. The hunt has just begun. Every investigation leaves another scar. Every piece of evidence pulls us way too far. Voices on the spirit box calling out our names. Something ancient in these woods ain't playing games. Moonlight shining off the old back roads. Fear hits different when you're truly alone. But we keep pushing through the silence and the dread. Chasing things most people wish stayed dead. No fear, no turning back. We walk into the darkness, and darkness stares They're watching from the shadows, hiding in the trees. Every step you take brings them closer than you think. From the forest to the graveyards, from the mountains to the caves, monsters unleashed forever, still hunting to this day. They're still out there.